Morning all, how are we doing? Morning Stevie, morning ladder. Happy Monday. Another week. Another week of hell in the markets. How are you all doing? Everybody have a good weekend? Do anything exciting? We got a big gap on the DAX this morning. Not big, but we got a gap. It's just retesting the lows at the moment. It's 50 odd pips, so fairly big move to the upside potentially if it goes that way this morning. I'm sure obviously at the minute, but we will see. So it's Monday. We haven't got anything news-wise today at all. It's the first England match in the World Cup, so obviously there's no news because everybody in England and in the banking sector is going to be in the pub at lunchtime. So there won't be any banking going on today at all. Yeah, so no news today. Morning, Jane. We've got tomorrow. We've got low speaking and minor news. We've got retail for CAD. Then it's FOMC. Lots of FOMC speakers tomorrow. Must be something on. They're all at. Online event. Oh, it's an online one. So yeah, probably nothing tomorrow really, apart from low in the morning. We've got a bank holiday on Wednesday in Japan. Now, when we get these bank holidays in Japan, we tend to get 200-300 ADR days quite often because the market gets massively manipulated when one participant is not around. So we may well have a very big day on Wednesday. We've obviously got FOMC on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So it's a very, very, very big day Wednesday. So this, if you look at this week as a kind of like a bell curve, we've got absolutely nothing happening. Then we've got Wednesday, and then we've got absolutely nothing happening. Absolutely crazy week this week for news. So nothing today, nothing tomorrow, nothing on Thursday, nothing on Friday. It's a US bank holiday on Thursday. It's a Japanese bank holiday on Wednesday. And then Wednesday, we've got absolutely everything. New Zealand, euro, pound, US dollar. It's just everything happening on one day. So it's going to be a very weird week this week. We're going to get everything happening in the middle and potentially nothing happening either side. So we talk about these midweek reversals as a phenomenon. This is it this week. So we're either going to get a push and reach for liquidity across multiple instruments and then a midweek reversal, or we're going to get not a lot and then a massive move midweek. So we'll have to see what happens today. Morning, Diamond. Yeah, so it's a very, very weird week for news. So obviously it's Thanksgiving, isn't it? That one, bank holiday. We don't do it in the UK. Yeah, Thanksgiving. It's Black Friday next Friday. So Thanksgiving holiday. Obviously, a lot of stuff starts winding up on the day before Thanksgiving as well. But we've got FOMC this time, so it's going to be an odd week. Lots and lots of volatility, but in big swaves, I should imagine, on Wednesday. So we will see what happens. But yeah, that's what we've got to look forward to this week. So we've got New Zealand rates. They're looking to go up 0.75% up to 4.25, so falling in line with the rest. Potentially, if they do that, we may get some New Zealand weakness, which we've had a fair bit of strength on New Zealand, so that would be quite nice to see. Especially as I'm Aussie New Zealand long, that'd be lovely if they can weaken New Zealand on Wednesday. We've got all the PMIs for Germany and France and the UK on Wednesday morning. We've got the US PMIs in the afternoon, 15 minutes after the New York Open. And then obviously everything is FOMC focused on Wednesday evening. So yeah, be interesting to see what happens this week. We may well have a really quiet day today. We'll see. Over the weekend, not a lot. China's interest rate forecasts came out pretty much in line with expectations. Apart from that, there was nothing much else. The Fed saying they were going to potentially slow down interest rate rises. So they're looking for 0.75 to 1 over the next sort of few months into possibly into the middle of next year. It's difficult to tell, really. Obviously, it all depends on what the inflation figures come out as. But that's the interesting part. They're ready to move away from 0.75 increases. Everyone's been doing 0.75s every time they increase their rates. So potentially we might see a slowing down in rates, and that will be so that they can see what happens to that inflation curve. If we're seeing inflation starting maybe to level out and interest rates started to come down at lower rates, we'll get that move to the downside, and then the rates will obviously come down alongside inflation. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. So we may well see a 0.5 or even a 0.35 or something from the Fed in December this next month. So Kim Jong-un basically threatening nuclear war. I think you're there. He's got to actually figure out how to fire a rocket in a straight line first, so we'll be too worried about that one. Yeah, apart from that, not a lot of other news. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We've got 1 minute to the open. So Friday, I had a nightmare Friday. I got out of oil on Friday. Market's just opened. Let's see how volatile we get. Initial open. Hourly RSI alerts just gone off. Euro CAD, Euro Swiss, Euro US, US Swiss, and US yen. This morning, I have a plumber coming just to service our boiler at some point between 8 and 10. So just to let you know, they're not expected to be here until sort of 9:15 to 10 o'clock. That's what they were sort of expecting, but I may have to drop everything if he turns up. So just to let you know, so I'm going to try and get through everything fairly quick this morning. So just watch that. So yeah, so oil. I got out of a load of oil on Friday. I took a massive loss on Friday. I took two losses on Friday. So dropped 14% on Friday. 11% of that was oil, and 2% of that was DAX scalps. I was trying to basically, I thought if I'm going to take some loss, I'm going to go for some aggressive moves on the DAX, and I just got stopped out in the DAX as well. So I thought that's it. I gave up on Friday. But I needed to get out of it. As you can see, I'm in 6% of drawdown. I got up to, it was over 10%, well over 10% on oil. It was far too much. So I scaled out of a load of oil on Friday. These ones here, all losses. I just got in way too fast, too hard on oil. Stupid mistake. This is what happens when you trade stuff you don't normally trade. You see there's a couple of DAX scalp losses there. It just, you have these days where every time you press the button, it just doesn't go right. And if you don't identify you've pressed the button and it's not going right, and you don't walk away, you end up with a massive, massive, massive loss. Much bigger one than you could cope with. So Friday, basically, I went, nah, this ain't happened today. So I walked away. So these were all 0.5s. What I should have got in with on these positions was 0.2s. So my risk was more than double the normal risk. The positions are far too close together, as you can see. And the thing dropped far too fast. So it just came down way, way faster than I was expecting, below the levels that I was expecting. The reason I got overconfident on this one was purely because of the psychological levels that we were at. I was expecting the 83 to 85 barrel to hold, fully expecting this market structure continuation. But the double top held, which was fine. We were expecting that. And then we were expecting potentially a range bounce. We didn't get it. We got a collapse. And you see, this is the reason I don't trade gold. It's not because I don't have any confidence in my forecasting abilities or my ability to trade it. It's the speed it moves when it moves, and that's the thing that catches me out with gold, which is why I don't trade it. It's normal normal price action will go and it will be absolutely fine. You know, it moves along, and then all of a sudden you get these days where it just literally for 3 to 4 hours, it just collapses well over an ADR in the opposite direction, and it never recovers from it. It just collapse, collapse, collapse. And gold does exactly the same thing. But on the flip side of that, as you can see, I've got 3 aggressive positions on here. On the flip side of that, it does it in the opposite direction as well. It will do these massive, strong pushes as well. So I'm only looking for an ADR move, and I'm out of this with a very, very nice profit. So I'm looking for a 1 ADR move to the upside. What I'm expecting is $100 a barrel by Christmas. Yeah, so I'm expecting to be off the top of this chart right now. It's just we've dropped too fast, too hard in the opposite direction. So if obviously, and exactly the same thing that happened to me last time when I traded oil, if you remember, if you were here, as soon as I got out of the position, literally the hour I got out of the position, the whole move went back exactly where I thought it was going to go. Yeah, but you can't assume that is going to happen. So one of my sales educators many years ago when I was in sales, and it's stuck with me ever since, he says you never use the word assume. If you assume something, it makes an arse of you and me. Yeah, that's how you spell assume, right? If you assume something, it makes an arse of you and me. Yeah, stuck in my head. So if I was to assume that this was going to bounce and hold all of this with 15% drawdown on one instrument, and this thing decided to do 2 more days to the downside, that's a blown account. You can't do it. So you have to get out, and that's basically what I did. So what I've done is I've reduced all these positions down by a third. I'm holding these ones, and I've put 3 aggressives on. So basically, either these aggressives are going to work and I'm going to be out, and I'm never going to trade oil again, same as gold for the moment. I always say that, no, I do. Or it's going to hit my aggressive DD positions, and I'm going to be stuck in this in pain. Nothing I can do about it, unfortunately, but we will see. But you know, oil at the moment, where we are, we're at a decent area of support, and we're at a very cheap price down here. And there's no reason fundamentally why we shouldn't be seeing higher oil prices moving forward. It's not happening at the moment, and it's the same thing I always keep saying about it's this timing thing. You cannot time the market. As much as you would love to time the market, if we could time the market, we'd all be millionaires, and that's one thing you can't time. So that's what I took on Friday. Just see what the DAX is up to. So DAX is going for the gap fill. Had a couple of DAX trades which I closed out as losses. I closed New Zealand CAD. Was that on? No, that was the day before. Yeah, so that was Friday. So this morning I got out of Euro US dollar. Just flat basically on that one this morning. I mean, again, this one's a nightmare. Just went sideways. Yeah, as soon as I got into the thing, yeah, literally 5 days, didn't go anywhere, sideways. So I got another position on there. Actually, I did trade this, didn't I? I took another one up here and I got out, and then I put it back on and I got out. So I've done pretty well out there. I've taken 1.5%, 2% out of this, so it's fine. But I'm out now on Euro US. I still think we've got some US dollar strength coming, and there's a good chance that we're going to get down to there. I've got Euro Swiss on as well as a short, so I've still got some Euro short on. So holding that one at the minute. So current exposure is DAX short, that's position trade. Aussie New Zealand, which is just not going anywhere. I've got Euro Swiss short, New Zealand CAD long, short rather, US dollar CAD long, and obviously oil. So Aussie New Zealand's the other main issue at the minute. Hopefully that will be rectified on Wednesday when we get the New Zealand dollar rates come out. So hoping that might give, typically inflation figures being higher than normal is positive for currency. Interest rates increasing is negative for currency. So as long as they hit the 4.25, I think we'll probably have some downward momentum on the New Zealand. If they don't hit the 4.25 and do what the Aussies did, then obviously who knows. But I'm kind of banking on them helping with this one at the moment. But as you can see, obviously we've had a very, very big, strong push on Aussie New Zealand for the year. And at the moment, we're just in a pullback. So where we've bounced at the minute is off of this double top there. So potentially this could be a decent leg back up, or we could start to go into a range at either that sort of level, or even a much bigger range and go sideways for a bit. But the ranges tend to be quite tight. When we do go into ranges on these, as you can see, they tend to be quite tight. Yeah. So if we go into that type of range, I'll be out on some of it up there. I'll wait, get in again, get out again, and eventually get flat on it. So just waiting. But yeah, lovely little drop down and bounce this morning on that one. Obviously, this is all broker candles. Just ignore all of that lot. Yeah, so that's where I am at the moment. So the DAX is up to. So DAX has rejected the opening range high. I'll have a look at all the indices in a minute. Still in oil, sitting on two positions, but first one at 86.15, second one around 80. Yeah. Yeah, if you don't get in too tight and too big, like I did, you'll be fine on oil. You know, you can, it's nothing, I don't have a problem really position trading oil. I just got, I kind of was treating these like a sort of an intraday position scalp, if you like. And I didn't get the movement I wanted off of it. I was just too overconfident, which is the downfall of many. Good rejection on the DAX. Themba, morning Themba, morning MK. Struggling with connection. Oh dear. Not good. Right. So let's have a quick look at the indices. We'll start off with the indices. ADRs, there's no ADRs to look at this morning, so we'll start as normal. So DAX. So obviously we are still in this range at the moment. We had a big up day Friday, and this is the other thing that caught me out on Friday. Again, this is the danger of having a bias. Is that you get stuck in your bias, and getting yourself out of your bias is difficult. So this high here, remember I said on Friday what my plan was on Friday. I've probably still got the lines drawn in on here. Yeah. So the plan on Friday, you remember down here, back here, was when we get up to this area, I'll be looking for shorts. And that's exactly what I did. I followed my plan. It's just that I got stopped out. So I took that one, I think it was, and got stopped out. We then started to pull back down. We double bottomed on that one. I put one on, added, and got stopped out because we just went into rotation. We came back up to that high. Yeah, we rejected. So the reason I've got my position trade short on at the moment is because I'm looking for, and I am still looking for, next leg down to begin on all these indices. So we got this high. Okay, so we've broken that high. So effectively, that reversal alert there is basically new bullish market structure, and we were potentially looking for the bear market to be over, which I obviously cannot believe the bear market's over. We're just entering into a recession. So I don't think that is the case. If you look at the other indices, the US indices, they're firmly saying, yeah, we're doing still going down. It's just the DAX and the Dow have held up a lot better than the other indices because they've got less stocks in, so they're less volatile to negative movement because you've got, BMW, for example, in the DAX, one of the big stocks, or SAP, the top stock in the DAX. If that just keeps going and has amazing figures, it doesn't matter how the recession's going. If you've got one stock which is sitting at the top of the DAX, which has a 20% weighting to the DAX movement, this thing's not going down, is it? Because they're propping up the index. When you've got 500 stocks or 100 stocks in an index instead of 40 or 30, there's a lot more volatility. So this is why the DAX and the Dow tend to, if they're going to get out of sync, it's these guys that get out of sync because they've got a different stock count in them. You know, they tend to perform differently, and equally these can get out of sync in the opposite direction as well. You know, if SAP and BMW both report bad earnings, they might have a quarter of negative movement, whereas the Nasdaq and all the tech stocks might be flying. You know, so it's horses for courses. So, but yeah, looking for the next leg to start down on this. We are so sideways on it. This is why I was taking those trades up at the highs, obviously here. So those black lines you saw drawn were the two highs from there and there, and we tapped into them perfectly and rejected. We just didn't get the rejection. We just got accumulation up at the highs. We got into a range. So I'm looking for next leg down to start. We got that massive movement and propulsion gap put in off the back of the news the week before last. We haven't even come back and tested that area yet. So we've kind of tested the high of it with those two candles, but as you can see, last week we just didn't go anywhere, absolutely nowhere. So we are basically in a weekly control candle at the minute. We're just kind of broken out of it, haven't we? Slightly to the upside, but I would suspect this week we'll be looking at coming back down into this area. Potentially, if we're starting next leg, what we use is look at the daily. If we're starting next leg down, I'm looking for this big day. This is what I'm positioned for. Yeah, next leg. Yeah, when these legs start, we get a big down day that kicks off the leg. So I'm waiting for this leg to start. We're just struggling at the moment. So it could well be off the back of FOMC this week. FOMC is on Wednesday. If FOMC comes out as super hawkish and everyone goes, well, hey, looking good for the US, they're going to start reducing their interest rate increases and inflation seems to be curving, jobless, blah, 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 blah. You know, all of a sudden US dollar goes mental. We've got a good chance of getting that down day in. So it could be that we just go into rotation for 2 more days on the indices, but I'm waiting for that next leg. So that's where we are with DAX. Nasdaq, obviously, you can see we're much more bearish on the US indices. We've started the rollover, but ever so, it's started after the big push. Yeah. We've rolled over nicely. We had a nice kind of shooting star. Well, it's just a big long wick candle really, but we have made new lows. So zoom in, you can actually see it clearer. So we made that high, then we made a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We tried to make a new high. We double topped it, went on an inside bar. Yeah, so I'm looking for an inside bar breakout to the downside, and for this just to roll over and go. And the same with all the other US indices as well. Yeah, as you see, the Dow has held up. Dow looks a little bit more like the DAX. Yeah, we've got that W reversal alert and retest at the bottom. We haven't made a new high there, but again, it's the same sort of price action. Yeah, big push, gone nowhere. So we're waiting for this range. We're waiting for a range breakout. Yeah, and I could be completely wrong on this. And the recession that the entire world is forecasting and is saying that we're in is just smoke and mirrors, and the stock market's going to fly. I don't know. I can't see it. But who knows? So just waiting on all of these. S&P, same thing. Really horrible, choppy price action. Killed a lot of traders last week. So yeah, next leg. Waiting for that big day, big candle day. So, but obviously with the news we've got this week, it may not come. Wow, that just fell out of bed in dramatic style. And he's rejecting those lows at the minute, but that looks bearish this morning, doesn't it? Let's see. This could be the day. So we could be looking for an ADR day. So, you know, if you look at the levels, obviously this is the range. So there's our big day on the US news, that massive propulsion gap. And then we had another day push. And since that's where we've been stuck in this range. So we're up at the highs of the range. They've just taken all the liquidity from every single short entry that was taken over the last week. They took it on Friday and they made sure they took it. They didn't just take it, they took it twice. And now we're back down here. So next potential move is to come down to the bottom of this range and hold, which would give us an ADR move today. And then move. So, you know, this is what we're waiting for. This is the big down. Visualize this on a daily chart. You've just seen what this on a daily chart. It's like wiki candles like this, isn't it? A little bit higher there, and it's just a sideways movement. We're looking for that big down day to start that rollover on the next leg. So to visualize where we are and visualize that type of candle going in today. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm waiting to get painted on the daily. And then obviously we're off, hopefully, from there. So, but we need to see price action confirm it. And at the moment, all we're doing is wicking. Yeah, going anywhere at the moment, aren't we? Right, so that's the indices covered. Oil, as I say, oil, I'm looking for $100 a barrel. Yeah, so that's what a lot of analysts and hedge funds are forecasting. They were forecasting it for Christmas, which means, yeah, we've got 5 weeks to get there. So if you look at that, that's a 2-week period there. Yeah, if you forecast that back onto there in 2 weeks, it's well within our target, isn't it? If we can get there in 5 weeks easy, it's just going to take a while to get there. So, but yeah, so we got a lovely rejection wick on Friday. And as I say, it's where I got out. I couldn't hold it anymore though. It's, you know, it was too much for me to hold. So we've rejected nicely on Friday. 3 down days on the trot. Big bar rest. 3 big down days. So I'm looking for now some gradual sideways movement. Yeah. So I'm expecting this low to hold, and just kind of start to move our way back up now. Obviously, we've got oil inventories on Wednesday as well. So when you look at the news, yeah, we got oil on Wednesday as well at 3:30. It's not on here because it's yellow news, but Wednesday is the day this week. It's all happening. So yeah, so oil, looking for that market structure break that we got there. Yeah, to hold and push to the upside, but who knows? Difficult to tell. Johannes, that candle bar in the top right corner, how do you apply that setting? That candle bar in the top right corner. Not sure what you mean, candle bar. Oh, the bar timer. That. It's called Candle Timer Countdown MT4. Go and Google it. I think I got it from the marketplace. I think it's from the marketplace. MQL5 marketplace. Candle Timer Countdown. It does a few other things as well. It shows you daily percentage change and stuff, so you can have it showing you percentages and things if you want it, and you can move it around and change color. I don't know, just a countdown. There's loads of them out there. I just like to have it because with price action, and I'm using it on my main charts as well because it's good to have on them H4. Yeah, so I know I've got 37 minutes left before this candle paints. It's good to have, I think, because you don't want to be making decisions until the candle's closing or about to close. So, you know, if you've got 10 seconds left on this candle, take it. You know, if you want to hit the sell stop button and put pending under there, that's fine. But you wouldn't do this if you've got 3.5 minutes left on this candle, because this candle might look like that now, but in 3.5 minutes, it might look like that, mightn't it? So it's just give you an indication as to how long you got left before the candle paints. Yeah, and you'll find a lot of the times in the last 20 seconds, a candle will completely change. They will hold price like this. Yeah, so everyone's going, oh, it's bearish, and everybody will be entering short because this looks like it's falling out of bed. And then 10 seconds before, they'll go, and you'll end up like that. Watch this on an hourly. You'll see this happen a lot on an hourly chart. Yeah, you will find on in the last sort of minute of an hourly candle, it can completely repaint the candle, completely different to what it's looked like for the entire hour. You see it a lot with hourly candles. You know, they'll be holding it down at some level, and then just before they're about to go to lunch, they'll unwind all their positions, and it'll go and it will shoot up because they just unwind all those short positions, and they just get out. And obviously that means entering a load of longs, and the candle completely changes shape. Yeah, look at this now. Got 26 seconds left. This is looking pretty bullish, isn't it? 20 seconds ago, this was looking massively bearish. Now it's looking massively bullish. Look at that rejection. This is a massive bull candle. Oh, 30 seconds ago, it was a massive bear candle. You know, you got to wait to the end. Wait till it's painted. It's a massive indecision candle, really. So we can't, this opening range today, they are really struggling to go anywhere, aren't they? So there's your opening range, high and low. We tried to get out the top, we couldn't. We've tried to get out the bottom twice, we can't. Yeah, it's a bit of a struggle today, though it's way more bearish than bullish, but you know, no one's in charge at the minute, are they? We need to get these lows broken and held. So we've got these lows here. We need to break and hold. We need a candle that closes down here somewhere. Then I would say, yeah, we're obviously coming down, but struggling at the minute. Bitcoin on Friday. Oh dear. More negativity on Bitcoin. Trade anyway. So gold, for those that are trading gold, we got that big push up, multiple, and you know, this is exactly why I don't trade gold. Yeah, we just get this nuts movement. It just goes mad, and it's just really difficult to position trade the thing. So, but yeah, we were looking for the rollover to start. Last week we had basically the whole week. Towards the end of the week, it was just lovely downward movement, 4 down days on the trot. So yeah, if we're going to get that US dollar strength coming through, obviously gold is going to come down. So I'll be looking for shorts on this thing at the minute. As I say, I don't really trade it. So right. So looking at the ADRs, there's quite a few monthlies hit. We've had a lot of volatility, obviously, this month. So there's nothing on the weeklies, obviously, because it's Monday. There's nothing on the dailies at the moment. So there's nothing to look at on ADRs. The 4-hour RSI extensions, still my friend Aussie New Zealand. Got back down again, extended on the daily. The 4 hours massively extended. So we've had just a massive collapse towards the end of last week. So I was out of this. Made some nice profit on this move up. And I got out, had an opportunity to completely exit the position, which I didn't take. So I've had to scale in again. The EA is obviously just getting me in half an ADR apart. So just waiting for that ADR move, basically, to the upside. And then we'll go. You think December is going to be a busy month? In what respect? December's, I mean, busy. Market never sleeps. As long as there's a human being in the world that wants to make money, the market will be operational. No one's going to... banks don't shut for Christmas. Well, they do shut for Christmas, but they don't shut in December. Yeah, volume will be there. No different. Christmas is Christmas. You know, you get that week before Christmas, which things start to slow down, but it's only that week. It's 2 weeks, basically. Most bankers will take 2 to 3 weeks off over Christmas. So it all starts to slow down the week before Christmas when the schools break up, kind of thing. Yeah, and you know, everybody just slows down. But you'll find in low volume situations, you get high volatility. So, you know, like if you've got, this is why people pay attention to the VIX volatility indexes. If you've got low volume, so when volume drops, ADR and ATR increase because you've got less volume there. So if I need to execute a large order and there's no volume of sellers there, I have to go further to get my order filled. Therefore, you get higher volatility. So it's quite dangerous trading around the Christmas period because you get high volume spikes. If you're using a stop loss, yeah, it's awful. Spreads are bigger as well. So it's just, I normally pack up the week before Christmas. But obviously, I'd say pack up. I pay less attention to the charts. So obviously, if I'm in positions, I can't pack up because I'm, you know, if I've got risk on the table, I'm managing it. So you can't pack up if you've got open positions. But I try, if I can, and whittle down, I will try and go flat. Sort of second week in December, third week in December. But it really depends on what's going on, really. This year, obviously, we're waiting and anticipating to see whether we get the Santa rally, because obviously Christmas is typically Santa rally time. We tend to get a big, strong push into Christmas. But in a bear market, I reckon this year we're going to get that because we had it before in the bear market. Last bear market we were in, we had a big downward rally in Christmas. So we'll see. Just don't know, do we? What will happen? Will happen. So Aussie New Zealand, yeah, it's massively extended still on 4 hour. We've had that big gap down and push up, which is, again, that's lack of volume. So you get high volatility. So big, strong push to the downside, as you can see. So looking for that profit take move from here. And I will probably get out and get flat on this on the next one because I was wrong on my initial position up here. But you know, I just get out, get flat. So nothing else on the 4 hour RSIs at the moment. Hourly RSIs, the only thing we've got is Euro US dollar. I'm out of that, which I just got out of this morning. We're extended on the hourly. So again, this is one of the reasons we use RSI and ADR. If we're getting extended and we're expecting some kind of profit take move to come off of it, get out your positions. If you're short, you've got profit and we're extended, that's when you exit. So out of that one, that's all we've got extended there. And again, short bias on this. Yeah, looking for US dollar strength. Euro probably going to be continuing to weaken. And that's also extended on the 14 RSI. So yeah, I'll be looking for a pullback and then looking to getting short again on that one. The other extensions we've got on the 14 RSI instead of the 21 are the Euro CAD. That's nicely extended to the downside as well. But again, I'd be looking for Canadian dollar strength along with the US. So we've got that reversal alert there, which was off of that double top. And market structure is broken to the downside. So looking for a kind of pullback and drop on that one. Euro Swiss, again, I'm in this one short at the moment. It's very extended. I'm going to hold this at the moment, though, this one. Oops. We've got a very nice sort of rollover happened here. And the reason I like this still, and I'm holding it short, is because of the speed of collapse on this one. This massive push down, we've pushed back up into where we got that breakout. Yeah, so this big propulsion gap here is where that move started. We've pushed back up into it and the sellers have stepped back in quite aggressively. So I reckon we're going to get a continuation move to the downside on this one. So I'm just holding on to this one at the moment, not taking profit on it. I'm just looking to hold positions as long as I can at the moment, just because I need to get as much in the bank as I can to combat this oil position. So yeah, like that to the downside. Euro US dollar is obviously extended. I was toying with the idea of taking profit on it. I've taken quite a lot of profit off of this one since obviously with this squeeze finished. So I've traded it there, I've traded it there, and I'm trading it again here. So I'm going to try and hold this one because that's where I got out on the last one, and then that happened. So I just want to see if we can test this low. The EA will get me out though if I get into 1% profit, because it's automatically programmed to get me out 1% profit. But I'm going to stick a TP down there. That's where I would look for getting out. US dollar CAD, I'm long. That's close to TP, that one. Again, US dollar CAD, we're extended to the upside there. But you know, we've got this. This is where we're headed, as you can see. These propulsion gaps act like magnets. First test on it, actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just put a break-even stop on this one. Reason being, it's very close to my TP, but what I don't want, occasionally with these propulsion gaps, yeah. So this is obviously a large area of selling off the back of the news. So we had the big initial flush, and then this is our first retest of that area. So you don't know where the sell orders are sitting in this propulsion gap. We know there's obviously the market is short from here, and we know that there's a high probability they're going to add to that short. We don't know where. So if they start adding to that short right here at the end of that hour, I don't want to get, you know, stopped out on that position. That is assuming that this isn't going to just slam through that and we're going to get a strong US dollar, which is quite possibly what is going to happen. But so I'm just going to protect it with a break-even stop. In fact, what I might do is just move up a little bit more on the TP on that one, give it a little bit more room to breathe. So if it is going to have an update today, then obviously make a bit more money out of it, but I'm not going to go for an ADR. So yeah, looking for that. There's a potential that we might start a downward move from there, but I doubt it with FOMC this week. I think we'll probably be okay on that one. So US dollar Swiss, again, extended to the upside. Nowhere near the propulsion move on that one yet. Long way to go. And US dollar yen, same thing. So weak yen, US dollar should benefit from that, but only up to 150. When we get up to 150, we'll probably get some more intervention coming. So there's a few opportunities, but most of these are counter trend. They're all sort of like extended because we should be taking profit on them. Gentlemen, the worst DD I've ever been in was over Christmas last year. Yeah. The trouble with the Christmas period is the volatility and the volume. Obviously, the volume isn't there as much. Therefore, the volatility is there more. And if you're the wrong side of a move, when there is low volatility, you can have a good couple of ADR hits in a week. You know, so you just suddenly slip up to there, move down a little bit, then you slip up to there because there's no volume in the market, and the volatility just goes through the roof. So you know, actually getting in, you know, we wait for reversal alerts to tell us that there's strength to enter into our positions. If you just get slippage after slippage, you don't get any reversal alerts because it's just doesn't. There's no profit taking pullback because this is just people executing orders in one direction. So you get slipped and you get into bigger drawdown, like John just said. It can be tricky Christmas, but it's tricky from. It doesn't matter how you trade. Whether you're trading with a stop loss, whether you're position trading, what you're doing, slippage is either massively beneficial or massively negative. If you get slipped, it will not honor your stop and you'll take a lot more loss than you expected to, or you get slipped in the right direction and you make twice as much as you thought you were going to. You know, it's a double-edged sword. If you want to be safe, just don't do it. This is why we build up these banks of, you know, this is what it's all about. It's a long-term thing. You know, I don't draw a salary of £5,000 to £10,000 a month. I take money out of the market when the market lets me have money. If the market says this month you're not having more than 4% profit because you've been an idiot, that's what I'll take. Like last month, the market said, well done, we like you this month, here's 33% profit. So I took it. You have a couple of good trades, you you don't know when they're coming, so you just got to be in. But Christmas isn't the best time to be in, to be honest. So, right. So let's whiz through everything. So the DAX is up to. Oh God, what a nasty choppy mess today. So wick. Just not nice, is it? It's looking more bearish than bullish. But yeah. Not much fun today, is it? Right, whiz through all the pairs, because obviously I'm aware my plumber might turn up in the next half an hour. So, Aussie CAD. So Aussies, obviously with the rate announcement on the Aussie not being as large as we were expecting it to, the Aussie took a bit of a hit. We've had some decent movement on Aussie CAD because we've had a weak Canadian dollar, but that's all starting to change now. As you can see, we've had a reversal alert and a retest. There's a lovely M pattern formation. So market structure shifting to the downside. And if we're going to get strength on the US dollar off the back of FOMC, the Canadian dollar will go as well. Aussie dollar will move along with the New Zealand dollar, and obviously we've got the New Zealand dollar rate announcement on Wednesday, so there's potentially a chance for that to kick in. And obviously, if we're going to get weakness New Zealand, we may well get a little bit of weakness along with it from the Aussie dollar. However, Aussie New Zealand, obviously, you'll find that one will go up because the weakness will be on the New Zealand dollar side more. So Aussie New Zealand should push. But yeah, so I like this as a short. Obviously, from a trend perspective, it's down. You know, it's kind of US, Canada, always fairly strong together. We've got a bit of weakness off of oil, obviously, at the moment, as we know. So that's holding the CAD back a little bit, but it's starting to roll over very nicely. So 4-hour RSI extension was last week. So if you did get into that one last week, yeah, you're probably out of it now, to be honest. So it's kind of done and dusted. So I'll be looking for pullback opportunities, maybe on the hourly on that one, dropping down. If you get any hourly RSI extensions to the upside, looking for short opportunities on that. Robbie, are you still short DAX? Yep. I think it's more bullish till Thanksgiving. Okay. What gives you that opinion? Do you know someone in the stock market that's told you that they're going to be buying a load of stocks today? Otherwise, what makes it bullish? That's all I would say to that. I don't know. I've said this many times. I haven't got a clue. There is nobody on this planet that knows whether that is going up or down today. Nobody on this planet. There's no point in trying to forecast anything. You've no idea where it's going. Neither have I. And there's nothing you can do about it if it goes the other way. You just have to get on the train. It's like being at a station. You've got a station there. Oh, sorry. You've got a station there. You've got a station there. You've got a station there. And there's the train. Yeah. When you get on that train, as soon as you're on that train and the door's shut, it's going to pull away from the station. I haven't got a clue which direction the train's going in. So if it goes up that way, I need to deal with it. If it goes down that way, I need to deal with it. The DAX is going to go up or down today throughout the day. That's what we know. Don't know anything else. No idea. One way or t'other. But what I would say is it doesn't look particularly bullish. None of the indices do at the moment. That's not bullish price action. There's nothing bullish in there. That's bullish. That's bearish. That's sideways. Before a reversal, quite often, comes an accumulation. But also, you get accumulation breaks to the upside after that, don't you? Pauses. So who knows? I don't know. If I did, I'd be a millionaire. Aussie Swiss short as well. So obviously we've got a nice downtrend on that. We've been in a downtrend since the summer. Again, the Swiss franc, obviously, since the rate announcement has done very, very well. So we had the rate announcement, which basically drove the Swissy into the strength it's got at the moment. It is part of Europe, obviously, or the Eurozone, so it is open to being affected by the conflict in Ukraine. But Aussie's been, as we know, very weak recently. So as soon as you get any strength on the Swissy, that'll be driving this one down. So I'm looking for any type of short opportunity on it. And as you can see, since we started the trend on the daily, we've never even got anywhere near it. So 4 hour extensions to the upside, looking for shorts. Yeah, and they've all worked very nicely. Any short opportunities, that one kind of took a few days, but so yeah, looking for shorts on it basically, on all these Aussies apart from the Aussie New Zealand. So good couple of opportunities on the hourly RSI extensions there. So all working out basically. So it's just waiting for short opportunities. There's one there last week. So just waiting for short opportunities on Aussie Swiss. Yens, I'll cover all the yens again quickly. Same situation on the yens. I have no clue. You see, Bombinges. Just brighten my day, your name. I think DAX, if DAX sustains below 14,350, yeah. Look at it. Everyone's just jumped in short there. Look. First bear candle, jumping short. This thing's got no idea where it's going today, is it? 14,350. Yeah, basically. So we're looking for range break, aren't we? So yeah, I mean, if it anywhere below there, if we can get a hold below there, obviously we're bearish. But you know, and this is the thing. This is why breakout. Just while we're talking about this, why breakout traders fail. Yeah. What you've just said is quite right. 14,350, then I'm bearish. But what you will be doing is you will be going, yep, okay, I'm getting bearish now. You've missed the move. So, you know, like I keep saying, there's a 50-50 chance you're going to get it right wherever you hit the button. If you hit the button here, or you hit the button here, or you hit the button here, if you think it's going to be bearish, then why not hit the button now, right now? Because it's either going to go your way or it's not going to go your way. Doesn't matter, does it? Just hit the button. There's a 50-50 chance. We don't know what they're going to do. But it certainly looks bearish this morning, doesn't it? I mean, we've got nothing but pushing down. We've had that one bull candle. So hit the button now. And then if it gets below 14,350, your level, add one. And take advantage of it. Because if it does get below there, yes, I think it's going to flush. I think you're right. But get in now and take advantage of that, then add your position. Have two positions on. No point in waiting. Right, yens. Because it won't, my luck, yeah. It's luck. It is all luck. Yeah, it's a casino. The stock market is a casino on low time frames. High time frames, you can do fundamental analysis because you've got time to do it. Low time frames, every time you hit that button, use red or black. It's going up or going down. Whenever you're scalping, you're looking for maybe a candle or two, aren't you? So, you know, the chances are 50-50. Every time you hit that button, it's how much you lose. It's how little you lose is what makes you money. People that are better at scalping, the ones that get out faster when they realize that they're wrong. But, you know, the candle afterwards, it goes their way and then they go, ugh, and get cross. That's scalping. Drives you mental. Did you just say it doesn't matter? It's just a button. Yeah. Did I just say it doesn't matter? It's just a button. I don't know. I don't know what I just said. Maybe. Anyway, flip a coin. Aussie dollar yen. So we are sideways, all these yens at the moment. There's very little movement on the yen. We are range bound on everything yen. So it's quite tricky to get into because most of the ranges that we've got on the yen pairs at the moment are very uneven. So it's difficult to know when it's going to turn. But the Bank of Japan has obviously done 2 stages of intervention now, which have both sort of shot the market into not being weak on the yen, which is good for them. But it's not actually strong either. We're not getting any serious breakouts or serious market structure movements to the downside at all on any of these yen pairs. So for me, I'm still out of the yen. I'm not trading the yen at the moment because I can't get a read for where I think it might be going. CAD, obviously this has come down a lot harder, but you know, it has just come down again towards this bottom of this range. So are we staying in a wide range on this one? You know, it's so difficult to tell what to do with it. It's kind of at the moment with all the yens, you can really take any RSI extension and you've got as much chance of it working as any other at the moment. I would much rather, and I did this with the New Zealand yen a couple of weeks ago, take a short, because I think there's more chance of the intervention that they've done bolstering the yen. And don't forget, it's been weak for such a long time. We've had such a lot of weakness on it. It's due a sell cycle. It's due some strength. So I just want to hit. I just would much rather go short on this at the moment. So we've got the 4-hour reversal alert on that one, for example. There, the Swiss yen. You know, it's reversal alert after reversal alert, which indicates a range. Yeah, you get reversal alert, and then you get a reversal alert in the other direction. You're range bound. So again, we are not going anywhere. So you could say, right, I'm interested in shorts at ADR there, or I'm interested in longs at ADR there. But at the moment, there's no directional movement at all on it. So as I say, I'd be interested in ADR shorts at the highs there, or RSI extensions on the hourlies. Yeah, for short opportunities. Look for propulsion. Nice propulsion move to the downside there. But, you know, just look at the strength of it. There's no follow through on anything. It's news. News is moving it. There's news. But other than that, it's just aimless, isn't it? All these yens are just aimless at the minute. Euro yen, sideways. You see, I mean, look at this. You know, somebody DM'd me. I don't think it was this pair, but they DM'd me and said, "What does that mean?" Well, not just doesn't mean anything, does it? It means you've been going sideways for such a long time. We eventually got a few pips below the low of a good few weeks. It just means it's not going anywhere. Yeah, we're looking for market reversal alerts. You're looking for those moves. Yeah, we're looking for a strong push and then a structure change, which indicates the selling leg has started off of the buying leg. That's just nothing. It's just sideways. Nothing's moving. So that's your pound, your euro yen. Pound yen, same thing. Again, last week, the pound, we got our fiscal policy on Thursday. Didn't do anything. Yeah, market's still got no clue. Pound's not doing anything at all. New Zealand yen, totally sideways. Just clear those up. So yeah, totally sideways. New Zealand dollar yen at the moment. We're range high and a range low. So again, I'd be interested in shorts there. I took short there, didn't I? Last week before last also. Other than that, there's that extension there I took actually, wasn't it? Yeah, there. Sideways, US dollar yen. Obviously the US, we had the bad news for the US. So there's your first intervention, your second intervention on the yen. That's the one that really worked. So 150 is the line in the sand. If it gets anywhere near back up there again, we might see some more intervention coming in on the yen. So I'd be looking for shorts. But again, I don't want to get involved in the US dollar yen either. Just about to get a reversal alert on the 4-hour. But look how messy it is. Look how long it's taken just to get that structure break. That market structure break has taken since 11th of November. Yeah. We're on the 21st of November. It's taken 10 days of sideways price action. We're finally getting some indication of some strength coming through on the US dollar. It's just not, you know, it's just not worth trading the yens at the minute, I don't think. Aussie New Zealand. See, I've got my long on at the moment. That's coming down again this morning. Obviously, with this one, it's now in a bear. We're now bearish, aren't we, on it? But we're going to change New Zealand rates are announced on Wednesday, so this could all change again, couldn't it? But at the moment, obviously, it's very bearish. So if you want to, you can start looking for opportunities on RSI extensions to the upside. But personally, I can't believe that this Aussie is going to be weaker than New Zealand long term. I just think this it should be stronger than this. They screwed up the rates. They didn't increase their rates by enough, and the market did not like it at all, as you can see. This was where they changed the rates, and since then the market's not been impressed at all. So next rate announcement, I think we're probably going to get a bull move. I'm just going to have to sit through it until it happens, or we get New Zealand dollar weakness on Wednesday. Aussie US shorts, again, waiting for that US dollar strength, nicely extended on the 4 hour last week. There was your entry, end pattern reversal, retest. Yeah, so that's very nice. Lovely retest. That's an absolute textbook market structure on that one. And again, still think we're going to get some US dollar strength. So Aussie US will be coming down. CAD Swiss extended to the downside. We broke down below support on this one, but it's now broken back above. So we've got the reverse alert and the retest. Again, nice W pattern there. Broken back up into the upside. We got so much space. This was an absolute, the speed of this collapse here on the CAD Swiss was vast. We had poor Canadian figures coming out at the same time as Swissy powered up, and it just went mental that day, didn't it? So they're pulling back into that area now. As I say, all these propulsion moves all act as magnets for price to come back up and retest. So looking for some decent upside movement on that one. Long term though, very difficult to forecast. Swissy moves in fits and spurts. Canadian dollar should be strengthening with the US, so it's a very tricky one to decide on direction for this one. And as you can see, it's very choppy, so which is great for us because it doesn't matter which direction you were to trade this in, you've always got an opportunity to get out if you're position trading something like this. So the market structure, you can see it's very, very orderly. Big strong pushes, pulls, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. It's just a lovely thing to trade. So if you wanted to, you really could take this in any direction. Yeah, could have taken a short last week, and obviously off the back of this move, I mean, you'd have been in here on this one, long on that move, and yeah, that one you're still in. That's a squeeze. But waiting for the move to the upside. So difficult one to trade at the moment, CAD Swiss. It's not on my radar at the minute because it's the same as the US dollar Swiss. If you look at the US dollar Swiss, it's so push and pull. The Swiss franc, a lot of people don't trade the Swiss franc because of it's a little bit like gold, if you like, in that respect. You get these massive, strong pushes. Every time the Swiss banking system has a load of money flying through it, bang, you get these huge moves, and you get caught the wrong side. And I got caught the wrong side of the US dollar Swiss last Christmas. You just have to sit through it. It'll always come out. It always comes out in the wash. Always comes out in the wash. It's just sometimes you have to sit through these bigger squeezes with the Swiss franc. So yeah, CAD Swiss, very difficult to tell, but obviously be looking for longs at the moment on that one. And coming back up potentially into that area there. So another ADR really to go to the upside on that one. Your thoughts on break and retest strategy? Are you serious? MK, have you watched any of the videos on YouTube? What do you think this indicator is telling you? What's this? It's a break and retest. That's why I built it. Or have I misunderstood? I don't know. I may have misunderstood. What's my thoughts on it? I built an indicator to tell me when they happen. So yeah, I like them a lot. That's what that is. Break and retest. Or I misunderstood. Yens we've covered. Euros. So euros at the minute, we are obviously flagging, massively flagging. So we had they bought into the interest rate. increase. When it happened, they pushed a little bit and I went, don't like it much. So at the minute, I think with the euro, we're probably going to go into sort of some wide ranges on it. There's no real strength in the euro since the rate announcement happened. They have increased rates, which is great. Inflation is running rampant, same as everywhere else. I meant for me to follow it. How can I tell you if I don't? Sorry, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one. What's my thoughts on whether you should trade retest strategy? Try it, see how you get on. I don't know what to say to that. Really, it's like saying, should I kick this football? I don't know. Up to you. You want to? I can answer that. Euro odd. So yeah, short, short, long. Euro odd's a tricky one. I'm stuck with my euro at the moment. I'm sideways on it. I'm more short than long. I think euro against US and CAD are good shorts. Everything else, I'm unsure about directional bias on it really. So I think I'd be looking for shorts at the moment on this one. We are bullish from a trend perspective in the fact that we're in the green. But if you actually look at it since, I would say, that's really the end of the move, isn't it, there somewhere? Since October, 11th of October time, we are literally just sideways, aren't we? We're not going anywhere. So the moves to the downside are stronger than the moves to the upside, which is why we're flagging. So I'd be looking for shorts to the upside at the moment. So any RSI extensions to the upside, looking for shorts. Hourly RSI extensions just kicked in. So yeah, hourly RSI extensions to the upside. I'll be looking to get in short. Had one there on Thursday last week. So those are your short opportunities. I'm in Euro Swiss short at the moment, and I'm in Euro US short at the moment. So the Swiss franc, the US dollar, and the Canadian dollar, I think, are probably your best ones from a euro perspective. Euro CAD, again, just had a reverse alert on the 4 hour. Again, you can see we pushed up. 3-peak M pattern reversal there. And it's just starting to come down now. RSI extension coming down. We are bullish from a trend perspective, but long term, we are short. We would expect the Canadian dollar to be a lot stronger. MK, I was using buy stop and sell stop when resistance broke. Yeah, cool. I can't really tell you I can't really answer you whether a strategy is good for you or not. As you know, if you've been in there for any period of time, there isn't a strategy out there that's going to work consistently. It's whether your mindset is able to trade that through those periods. That's the only thing that, if you, like I said, you give this indicator 10 people, they're going to get 10 different results. No one's going to get the same result with the indicator. It's a signal indicator that will tell you when to get in. How you use it is up to you. So if you want to, when you get a reverse alert, if you want to wait for a pullback and then put a pending order under that low, you're taking a retest short, that's a great strategy. If you want to, when you get back into the retest zone, and you see a bearish candle, take a short there, that's a great strategy. And add there. If you want to wait until you've had the retest and you've got the break and arrow to confirm the M pattern is in place, take the short there. I can't answer. They're all good shorts because what are we expecting? We've had a reverse alert. We're expecting a market structure shift to the downside. How you get into it with the indicator, and again, why people. I can't answer the question as to what the strike rate of the indicator is. I don't know when you're trading it, how you're trading it, what you're trading, what you're missing, what you're trading, what you're asleep for, whether you're taking support resistance versions, you're taking there's a million ways to get in. At the end of the day, hit the button when you fancy it, and it's going to go up or down. If you're looking for anything more complex than that, it doesn't exist. every indicator will tell you, every signal indicator will tell you to get in at a time, and you either press the button or you don't. Whether that trade works or not is totally out of your control when you've hit it. So your choice. There's a million ways to trade with the same thing. And again, somebody asked me that at the weekend. Have you got any statistics on the EA? I do answer the same question over and over again with that, but I haven't got a way of putting up every single combination of the EA's settings on a live account. Just not, you can't do it, can you? There's too many variables with trading, whatever you're using. Euro CAD, so like that shorts at the moment. Again, we just had the reversal alert there. I always look for, when we get a reversal alert, why we've turned and whether we're at a good level. So with this one at the moment, where we've turned there, it's an old sort of support bounce, but there's not really a lot else happening around that level. So it may be that there's a little bit more wiggle room to the upside in this one, but that's the real main resistance on the way up. But there's nothing to say it would get there. It's going to have the strength to get there. As I say, if we get that US dollar strength, this is going to come down. So like it as shorts at the moment. Again, if you want to wait on this one, take any reverse alerts to the short side. So if we push up, take the next reverse alert short on M15, or wait for an RSI extension or whatever, but looking for shorts really on that. Euro Swiss, same thing. I'm short on this one already myself. Euro Swiss is the short of all short. It's been short for such a long time. May 21. There's just been no strength in the euro against the Swissy. It's never going to stand up against the Swissy. The Swissy is such a strong banking system. So much money goes through it. They're doing well on inflation. It's just everything's going right for the Swissy. So always looking for shorts on this one. I'm just going to... This is a new chart template, and I've obviously saved the template with a load of orders on it, annoyingly. I'm going to quickly clear this up just so that I've got a template saved without all this crap on it. Okay. Saved. Right. So yeah, so Euro Swiss, like it's short. We got an RSI extension back here. Yeah, just like it's short, basically. So continuation short on this one, unless they do something dramatic to increase the strength of the euro and get on top of inflation quicker. There's no reason why this one shouldn't continue to the downside. This was into the rates for the euro, and since then, the market's just not been impressed with the euro. It's not got anywhere. It's not got any legs. So like it as a short. So I'm already in that one at the moment, and that was taken off of the RSI extension here. Actually, I took it here, and I got out there. I took it again there, and I'm in it. So any RSI extension to the upside on this one at the moment. Another trade in there, look. Good to go to the downside. Euro pound, sideways, mess. Not interested in this one at the moment. I'm waiting this week for some kind of indication as to what the pound is doing. We've broken to the downside on DAX, so there we go. Okay, see, that kind of demonstrates my point. If you're waiting for 143.50 to break to get in short, you've just got in short there. Now look what's happening, because the move started there. But yeah, add in now. That's just taken off out that propulsion gap as well. So just need to be careful that we're not holding there, but we'll see what happens this morning. You just don't like euro pound at the moment. It's a low ADR. It's completely sideways. From a range trader's perspective, you've got this low, the most recent low there, Highs, you know, you've got that high there, you've got that high there that's kind of sort of held. It's just a messy sideways range mess at the moment. And directional bias, we were waiting for the fiscal policy on Thursday from the pound, and we got nothing. Literally got nothing. The market was just not interested Thursday. That was it. That was the budget. Yeah, we had bigger moves on other days. It has come down since then. So we've had a down day, and we're looking bearish today. So I have to think that the pound is going to be bearish moving forward, but there is very, very little movement on this one. So I'm not really interested in euro pound at all. If I'm going to trade the pound, I'm going to trade it against something like the US dollar, the CAD, or the Swiss, or anything really. But the euro, because the euro is undecided and sideways, not really doing very well. The pound is pretty much the same. So when you get two things that are moving with no momentum, you get a range. That's what we got. It's just a slightly wider range. So if you really want to get involved in the euro pound and tie up your liquidity in it, I'd be looking maybe for something in those sort of areas. But it's just rubbish at the minute. Not doing anything. Euro yen covered. Euro New Zealand, again, flag. We had the big push on the euro. We had a very weak New Zealand dollar at the same time as the euro was strengthening up into its rate announcement. And then the New Zealand took over. But again, last week, it was all rubbish. Last week, it was awful. So sideways, we're at the lows. I'd be looking for shorts on this, but you don't really want to be taking anything against the New Zealand dollar ahead of the rate announcement on Wednesday. We don't know which way it's going to go. MK, thank you. Yeah, we'll go watch all the videos. Everything you need to know about all the indicators that I trade with, about market structure, about position trading, it's all on the website. There's tons and tons and tons of videos, or on the YouTube channel. You know, on the YouTube channel, there's the Boocamp. There's all the trading strategies to do with the indicators that I use. Instruction videos on them all. It's all on here. So just watch it all on there. Everything you need to know. Seymour, I agree with your comments. I struggled with consistent mindset when starting out. Yeah. It is your mind, it's your brain that stops you making money. There's no good indicators out there, there's no bad indicators out there. Indicators just indicate stuff, and they all tell you what's happened in the past. What's going to happen in the future, you have no control over. But your mind has control over when you hit buttons. That's the bit that kills everybody, me included. Yeah, you know, there's no trader is immune from psychology. It's the most important thing. Most important thing, and that's why I keep pushing people to that book on my website, the 5 steps to becoming profitable. Yeah, this explains psychology in a it's a very small PDF, but it explains the steps you go through and the mindset that you go through. And this step 5 is where you get consistently profitable, and it's called autopilot. And it's basically just hitting buttons. Yeah, without any sort of bias, because you know that you haven't got one. You've nothing you can do to control it. So you just hit the buttons and you wait and see what happens. And the autopilot part is when you stop thinking about trading and you just start trading. Very important that you and you know, everyone bangs on about trading psychology. There's courses out there that will teach you it, but the actual truth behind trading psychology is every individual on the planet is different, and one psychology trick that will work for me won't work for you, because you have to identify what your own issues are with your trading psychology, and they're not going to be the same as anyone else's. And if they are the same as someone else's, the solution to it isn't going to be the same as you, because there's 10,000 indicators out there. And if you've got a different set of indicators in front of you to the guy next to you that's got the same psychological problems, you're both going to have completely different solutions to it. You just got to muddle through it. That's the hard truth. Euro New Zealand shorts. So we're right at support at the minute, so not a great place to be taking a short. I'll be looking for a move up, but obviously if this does break out to the downside, it's probably going to come down fairly hard, and it will come down off the back of the news on Wednesday. We've got the rate announcement on Wednesday morning, so that's when it will happen, I suspect. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's always the same. The week or so before we come to a rate announcement, we don't go anywhere. Nobody's investing hard in anything that is potentially going to go completely the opposite direction when the rates are announced. So that was your short on Wednesday. On Thursday, you had one there as well. So yeah, waiting for it to get into a short position. Euro New Zealand is a short as well. Sorry, Euro US dollar is a short. I've just got out of that one this morning. And it's coming down very nicely. So the DAX should be coming down. Yeah, so we've got a bit of rejection, that propulsion gap. Yeah, so this candle here is the propulsion move that took us and broke us below that level that I said. You know, we need to get a breakdown below there. That was a propulsion gap. All the sellers stepped in, pushed it down. We've pushed back up into the propulsion gap where the sellers started. They just added into their positions. So hopefully we're going to get a nice trend day this afternoon. Typical. It's the one day I'm not actually trading on the funded account. We're going to get the trend day. Never mind. Euro US dollar. So like it for shorts. I've just got out of it basically because we're massively extended on the 15. We're extended on the hourly big time. So I'm already out. But I think we're coming down into here. So any kind of pullbacks into resistance, I'd be quite happy to get short on that again. I've left the EA running, so the EA is just going to keep shorting this for me. Yeah, all the time up until Wednesday, and then obviously I'll see where we are Wednesday. Pounds. So pounds really hard now. With everything going on with the economy in the UK, we should be looking for a weak pound, I think. But the market on Thursday last week, I was expecting to make a decision as to, yeah, right, fine, now we can go. And load of money get injected into the pound or out of the pound because now we've got fiscal policy. We know where we're going. I was expecting the market to move and it didn't. So we are stuck at the minute with no direction since we've had the rate announcement, the fiscal policy announcement last week. So I think what we've got to do with the pound is just wait. I'm just sitting here thinking I've no clue whether I want to go long or short on this thing. And at the minute, we're sitting bang in the middle of a range, and I don't trade from the middle of ranges. So I'm waiting for us to get somewhere so I can make a decision. We've almost got 4-hour extension to the upside, which would indicate that we might have some movement to the downside starting. But if you look at where we were here, where we are now, yeah, we've only moved that far. So what's a profit take going to be on it? Maybe that? It just doesn't seem worth getting involved at the moment with it. We need some directional bias. All of these are, since last week, are just kind of up and down and rangy. We've not really gone anywhere. So there's no directional bias. Pound New Zealand's prime example. Look. So I'm waiting at the moment. I haven't got any pound exposure on. And I'm just waiting to see what happens with it. I get the feeling with the pound, we may go into the same sort of situation as with the euro, where we're just getting battered around by the other currencies. So when the US dollar powers up, it drops. When the US dollar weakens, it pumps. But it's not because the pound is moving, it's because the other currency is being moved and manipulated. So at the moment, I think we're just sitting waiting for something to happen that's going to give us some kind of indication. But what is going to happen is going to be based on the other currency. So the US dollar this week on FOMC, the New Zealand dollar on the New Zealand rate announcement. Canadian, we've got, thought we had some CAD news. No, it's euro, isn't it? With these, oh yes, PPI, PMIs. We've got CAD retail tomorrow, but that probably won't do anything. So yeah, I think we're just waiting, aren't we, for something to happen. So at the moment, your strategy with this could well be just monitor hourly RSI extensions and short it at the highs and maybe long it at the lows. Because at the minute, if we are just going to be pushed around by the other currency, we'll just get that sort of movement. So it doesn't really matter which end you get in, does it? You could even hedge it. So yeah, I mean, where we are now is a lovely short area, isn't it? So you could, we just about got extended on Friday, so you may well be interested in a short. We just about got extended there, but you just haven't gone anywhere, have you? So it's taken from that high down to that low there. It's taken 3 days to get down there. It took 3 days to get up there. It's taken 1, 2, 3, 4 days to get up there. So you're looking at 3 or 4 day cycles. So it's the sort of instrument at the moment, pound odd, for example, that you're going to get into, and then you're going to get out. You get into it on a Wednesday, and you get out of it on a Tuesday, maybe next week, or a Monday next week, or getting it on a Monday and you get out on a Wednesday or a Thursday. It's, you know, nothing fast happening. So look at it as a range bound instrument at the moment, and on the hourlies, just look for extensions to the upside. So there's an ADR hit to the upside, which is a lovely scalp short. You know, but I would be more inclined to be looking for shorts than longs on everything pound, because I don't think it's going to have its own strength. But you know, it could change. But the market at the moment, since last Thursday, hasn't given me any indication as to what it's doing. ECB just announced they're doing another rate hike in December, as if by magic. We'll make another rate hike and scale out of it should we continue to make progress towards the levels needed. Yeah. So again, just another rate hike confirmed. Bank of England Cunliffe, we should continue to bring these activities in. Experience of the past year has demonstrated crypto is not a stable ecosystem. Really? Right. So yeah, pounds. I'm looking for shorts, more shorts, but I'm a bit loathed at the moment to get into anything pound until it's shown me its cards. Yeah. What way are you going to trade that? You know, just there's nothing there that's interesting me at all with a pound. But pound US dollar, I would be interested in shorts. I mean, if you got into that, you're probably still in the thing, aren't you? You know, it's just not going anywhere. But I'd be interested in shorts on that one against the US dollar. New Zealand dollar CAD, I'm short at the moment. I've got 2 positions on a bit close together. One of those is a manual. One of those was taken with the EA. Waiting for Canadian dollar strength to come off the back of the US, and New Zealand dollar potentially for weakness off the back of the rate increases that are coming on Wednesday morning. So still like it short. If we get down to here by Wednesday, I'll take one of those off basically, and just bank one. I've got 3 positions on, as you can see. I've got one here, one there, one there. I've got a manual on as well. So I'll take one of those off. Be nice to be around about break even by the time the New Zealand news comes out. And then what I'll probably do, if we were, so how I would play this, if we were down here, for example, tomorrow evening, I'll take both of those off, bank both of those, put them in the bank, and then one of 2 things is going to happen. New Zealand dollar's either going to pump on its news, in which case I'll get in another position, or it's going to dump, in which case these 2 go into profit. It's a win-win situation, isn't it? So still like it short based on the New Zealand dollar. Sorry, based on the CAD strength, but obviously New Zealand's going to manipulate it on Wednesday anyway. New Zealand dollar Swiss shorts again. So looking for short opportunities on this one. Nicely extended on the 4 hour. We just double topped at resistance. Yeah, so we got a lovely resistance, which was very, very clean, easy to see. We came straight up, double topped it. We've just come up, tapped it again. RSI extensions, just easy trade. New Zealand dollar Swiss short. So you'll be in that one at the moment if you were, but it only just got there. On the hourly, we got a nice extension above the 80, so that would have been your entry. You've got reversal alert, retested. So it looks good. for shorts. Again, Swiss franc will power up and drive it down. That's what we had there. We had Swiss franc strength. New Zealand, US, again, shorts on this one. So this is a textbook trend. Obviously, it's just a lovely market structure on this one. Yeah. Assuming that we are just going to continue in this recession, we should have the US dollar being stronger than all the other currencies, biggest economy, world currency, and all that. So we should expect US dollar to strengthen up and continue as it's doing, which is a lovely move to the downside. So reverse alert on the 4 hour is on the cards at the moment, likely to be triggered on FOMC, probably before that actually. Hourly, we had one on that high, which just took that liquidity there on Friday, and it was an RSI extension. We had one there as well, which you still be in that one. If you're in it from here, you're still in it at the moment. You actually might have been out there, but if not, you're still in it. But yeah, lovely double top. So be looking for shorts back down into this propulsion gap caused by the news the week before. US dollar CAD, I'm long. It's pushing up a little bit more this morning. Not going too far this morning. But yeah, looking for long on that. I've got that protected with the stop at the moment. But again, I'm just looking for this to trade up into the propulsion gap. We have got CAD news tomorrow in the form of the retail figures, and then obviously FOMC on Wednesday. So that'll either hit target or break even. US dollar Swiss. Again, US dollar Swiss, you're looking at strength off of the Swiss franc, which is very, very strong when it is strong. Couple that with the fact that we have US dollar weakness happening at the same time, you get these massive moves, but we will get a profit take on that. How far it will go, don't know. We got this little bit in the middle there, so we should at least get an ADR hit out of it. But quite possibly push back to the upside. But as you can see, this one is just a choppy mess at the moment. So we are in a very large range at the moment, and we've just bounced off the bottom of it. So you would expect us to get somewhere up there, wouldn't you? But along the way, it can just stall halfway. It's just a mess, US dollar Swiss. So any extension, but as you can see, this is getting a lot more extended. We're breaking the 80 level on this one, quite often, aren't we? Every month or so, we're easily breaking the 80 level. So that's a lovely one to take long. Seymour, do you trade US dollar, Singapore dollar? No, I don't trade any exotics at all. It's fully backed by gold, silver, and other assets. Yeah, it's also pegged. You don't really want to trade anything that's pegged. And most of the exotics are pegged, which is why you don't trade them, because there's no point, because you're already trading them. Yeah. So if you've got something that's pegged to the US dollar, for example, why not just trade the US dollar variant? It doesn't make any sense. Which is why Singapore dollar, I don't think it's traded much. It's pegged to gold. If you want to know what happens when a peg is removed and the dangers of trading pegged currencies. Oh, where are we? Yeah. That's the danger of trading a pegged currency. This is a daily chart. Yeah, that's 1 day. If they decide to remove the peg, you are bankrupt. And you're not only bankrupt, you are also owing your broker anything up to $2 to $3 million. Probably best not to do it. There's no amount of cover. If you got the wrong side of that and you couldn't get out of it, there's no amount of financial cover from any financial institution that's going to help you. So don't trade them. It's not worth it. Exotics, you've got so much to trade. Yeah, just there's no point in mucking about with exotics. They're just a danger. It's bad enough at the moment trading something like the Swiss franc. Like, it's a big enough move on its own, isn't it? But yeah, so big down days on the US, recovering nicely at the moment, but it's just a messy thing at the minute. The US dollar Swiss, so directionless, very difficult to trade any direction on it. I would be more interested in longs than shorts, but I think there's better US pairs to trade out there, and there's better Swiss pairs to trade out there than US dollar Swiss. So I'm just not really trading it at the moment. It's a tricky one, but RSI extensions are on the 4 hour probably your best bet. Obviously, as you can see, we got a lovely RSI extension, reversal alert there, but it's a messy old reversal alert. Look how long it took. It took ages. You got extended sort of here. You just actually, this is why I don't trade the 30 extensions on the 4 hour. I wait for the 25s and the 20s, because if you traded the 30 extension on the RSI, you'd have got in here, and you've sat through that. You would have got an extra position on there, which is an ADR, 2 ADR. So you're like 4 to 5 ADR in the hole. It's just a volatile mess at the moment, this one. And US dollar yen, mess. Don't know what to do with it. Don't know what to do with the yen, so I'm not trading it. But obviously, as you can see, it's a massive long, but it's only a massive long while they're not intervening. When they're intervening, you do not want to be long. So I'd rather be short, knowing that they are probably more likely to intervene and pump the yen in the next few months than let it happen again. But yeah, again, there's probably better yen pairs to trade, like the euro yen, the pound yen short. Probably better trading those two short than you are anything else at the minute. So right, that's all I've got for this morning. DAX, nice rejection off of the opening range lows. So market structure looking good for a new low. We will see though. It's always the way. Market structure is either going to make a new low or it's going to make a new high. We don't know, do we? That's why we can't decide on the direction, because we haven't got a clue. It's going to do one of two things. It's either going to make a new high, market structure high, or it's going to make a market structure low. Your decision is to hit the button here and either make money or not make money. No one can tell you whether or not we're going to make a new high or a new low. Your job is to hit the button, manage your risk, and take your profit. That's the psychology bit. Trying to, human beings, we always just want to be right, don't we? We want to be right. And the whole problem with this society at the minute is we need everything done now, and we need it done correctly. It's like, I want to order something to be delivered to me. I'm only going to use Amazon, and I only use Amazon because Amazon will deliver it this afternoon or tomorrow. Yeah, I can't wait more than 24 hours for my thing to be delivered, because my society has programmed into me now that it's just the normal to have everything happening tomorrow. I want to make money, not tomorrow. I want to make money today. And I want to be right. I don't want to be wrong. It's just your psychology. That's you as a human being. You can't unprogram that, which is why I position trade, because I don't need to unprogram it, because it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong. I just have to wait. So you have to work on your waiting bit. If you're scalping, you can't work on the waiting bit because you need to be in or out in 3 or 4 candles, which is why it's such a hard thing to do. Move up, higher time frames, less decisions, less chop, less pain. Yes, that's my problem. Instant gratification monkey. Yeah, we all are. That's this market doesn't do this. Yeah, how often do you get in a trade like that? And this is the whole problem with trading. Yeah, what you want to happen when you press the button is that you want to go short, and you want that to happen, and you want to get out, and you want to go and do something else with all your money. Yeah, how often does that happen? Look here, how often does that happen in that 3 week, 4 week period, whatever it is? Where are we? October. So that's the beginning of November. and that's the 10th of November. So it's 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. What we wanted to happen was press the button and make money. So I pressed the button here and it went like that. Yeah. So I'm in a little bit of profit 2 weeks later. What I wanted to happen was to press the button and that doesn't happen. You've got to stop trying to catch those trades. These are the ones you see on the Telegram groups. Hey, I just got there's a Facebook ad flying around at the moment. And their advert is for a gold EA. And the gold EA got a 13.5 to 1 risk reward trade. And it was absolutely beautiful. They get one of them every 24 years. And that's the one they posted. Because that doesn't happen every day, does it? I can find instances. Look, if you'd have taken a market reversal alert short there, look at all that you'd have made. Yeah, you didn't take that one though, did you? And you certainly didn't hold it. You got out here, 100% guaranteed. You either got out there, there, or there. You did not hold it down to there because this thing came back at you. You can't. Yeah, you take a short. There's $300 on the table. Oh, I've got to take it. Best traders in the world will see money and they'll take it. They'll bank it. That's what our job is. Yeah, job is to make this green. Bank it. Bank money. When you see a load of money in front of you on the table, that's what you do. But the instant gratification is the hard bit to get around because you can't get the instant gratification because it so rarely ever presents itself. 90% of the days are like this. Every now and again you get one like that. If you take an opening range breakout this morning, here, you're in it. When are you going to get out? First red candle is when you're going to get out because that $80 or whatever is going to turn into $70 and you're going to go, oh, I'm going to give it back and you're going to get out. Instant gratification. But if you'd have held it, it would have gone up to $150. You can't, can you? Of course you can't. Brains are not wired that way. But, you know, look at a longer time frame. That's why I keep saying, you know, when you get into positions on low time frames, on M5 or M15, we're trading H4. If you're trading on M15 reversal alerts, you're trading the H4 chart. So when you get into this trade here at 140, yeah, you're trading from here. Yeah, it's only just about to get a reversal alert on the 4 hour. You've got all the way up there to go, look. 145. But if you watch this on M15, you're going to get a reversal alert. Yeah. Let's say we get a red candle. We make a new high. Yeah. And then we have a big red candle. You're going to get a reversal alert there on M15. It's going to tell you to go short. Doesn't mean you should go short. It just means it's starting to pull back before its next leg starts, which is why you should watch the higher time frames. It doesn't help you with instant gratification, does it? Helps you to stop getting out of positions. You know, and look at things like RSI. You know, it's got such a long way to go. And then when it gets up there, it could well stay there for a month. But on M5 or M15, you're going to want out of that today, aren't you? What we can do about that. I saw some RSIs lighting up on the hourly. We've got Euro US. Oops. So Euro US is even more extended now. We're down below the 20. US dollar yen, again, big, strong, nice US dollar this morning. Euro Swiss just stalling out a little bit. Pound US dollar, that's extended because of the US dollar strength, not because of the pound weakness. But yeah, so US indices are all going to be coming down. Coming down when it loads. So yeah, nice drops on the US indices so far this morning off the back of the US dollar strength. So if we can get the US dollar continuing to be strong during London and in New York, they decide to continue that move, we'll get the inverse happening on the indices today. So this, you know, I've said it many days, haven't I, over the last week. We're waiting for that down day to come. We're waiting for the big down day to come to confirm that we're starting the next leg. So this could be it today. Yep, gold will be dropping nicely because it's a US dollar cross. US dollar's going up, gold's coming down because it's literally just a US dollar cross. In exactly the same way as the pound US dollar is coming down, the euro US dollar is coming down, the Aussie US dollar is coming down, the New Zealand US dollar is coming down, gold US dollar is coming down. It's just a US dollar cross, just a volatile one. So US dollar's going up, everything against the US dollar is coming down. Manipulation, that's the way it works. Very good, strong push. We're going to should hopefully get some ADRs today off these US dollars, which would be nice. Been waiting for a long time. Well, we've been waiting a week, haven't we? The strength, finally. Right. DAX is holding nicely. So hopefully we'll get another leg down on the DAX today. I'm looking basically for, obviously for, I would love to see ADR today on DAX or the indices. If we can get an ADR hit today, that would be superb because it means that tomorrow we haven't got to do a lot to get that break. When that break happens, the world and his wife is going to jump on short. Institutions are going to jump on short. Everyone's going to jump on short because they're not going to want to miss the next leg. So I think we need to get it started. We need to get it kick-started. And as soon as we obviously do get that kickstart, you know, we'll have some big days coming in. And hopefully the reverse Santa rally. We'll see. All right. So that's all I've got for you today. I'll be back tomorrow morning, same time, 7:50. I'll be in the Telegram group if you need me for anything. But I'll just be monitoring and managing my positions this week at the moment, and mainly oil. Oh, come on, oil. See, this is the instant gratification thing, isn't it? Look, I just want you to get up there so I can get out. Stop irritating. That's how we're programmed, isn't it? It's like, oh, for God's sake, I know you're going up there. I just want you to do it now, please. I haven't got time to sit here and watch this. I've got other stuff to do. Can you just give me my money? Or take it, but I'd rather you gave it. Yeah, so I'm just managing positions today. I'm not going to enter anything new. I need to get on top of gold, on top of oil, or I need to get out of oil. Either way, you know, if this thing comes down, you can see I've got stops in place on the aggressive positions. I'm not. If we get down to here, I'm tempted to scale out of some more. I'm not experienced enough with gold, with oil, unfortunately, to really know if I can trust it. We've got these lows at ADR, which, you know, if we test those, there's a very high probability of holding range, isn't it? But I'm in too deep. I can't afford it. Hopefully, I'm not going to ruin my month, but you never know. It's all down to gold, oil. I keep saying it's the same bloody thing. It's just an annoying thing. I'm trading for some reason. I wish I wasn't. Anyway. Okay, guys, I'll be back tomorrow morning. If you need anything, let me know in the Telegram group. And as I say, no news. So nothing to worry about news-wise today. So any movement we get is literally just going to be manipulation. So we should get some profit take moves off the back of it. So be aware of the Aussie dollar tomorrow morning early. Apart from that, again, not a lot of news tomorrow. So all building up for Wednesday. So we'll see where we go today and tomorrow, and we should be looking hopefully for some midweek reversals if we can get some good pushes this week. But we'll see. We might just be sideways and range bound Monday, Tuesday. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. All right. So have a good one. Anything you need, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Have a good day.